Hey, welcome back everybody, and thank you for being here with me in the Ozarks with the Lord. So I just want to start off by saying sorry that I haven't uploaded a video for a long time. I know it's been a long time. I had some physical issues with me where I was kind of just bedridden, being stagnant, and oh my gosh, did that kill me. I still am not fully recovered yet, but I had to do a video. I had to. After everything that they were talking about yesterday with the whole Joe Biden speech, he dropped the hammer and sickle on people. And that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Joe Biden's speech, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a story that I have for you. I had it for you for a while, actually, but when all this stuff happened to me physically, I had to be out of the game for a while. But I'll bring it to your attention because it all ties into what happened, basically. So last night, if you didn't hear or you didn't watch Joe Biden's speech, he basically dropped down the hammer and sickle on everybody because he was talking about the private sector, which kind of threw me off guard. He basically told the Labor Department, hey, for those businesses that have over 100 people or more, they're going to have to get the jabo. Bottom line, mandated. That's going to affect everybody everywhere. And I've been telling you this since my last videos. I've been saying this stuff even before I even started YouTube with other people. That this was going to happen. It's all coming to fruition, what I was telling you. You can't trust these people. I tell you, I remember in the very beginning, oh, no mandates for Jabo, no mandates for mask. And then over time, oh, mandate. We know that because y'all started with, not even a month ago, the federal sector, people that work for the federal government, that even if you're a contractor, you're going to have to get the Jabo now, You're going to have to get the Jabo, and there's no taking a test or anything else that is going to stop you from this. I mean, you're going to be subjugated to it. Jabo, no test for the federal government or contractors. So it's either job or jab. You pick. And that sucks, But man, he came to the private sector and basically said, hey, for people over 100 employees or more, you're going to have to take the jab or you're going to have to do the test. And, next month, he's probably going to change his mind and say, okay, well, those in the private sector, probably with 50 people or more now, are going to have to take the jabo, and there's going to be no test. You just got to take it. That's it, bottom line. And remember what I told you in my other videos. For those of you who decide to take the test, right, and it becomes a false positive or you do have it or whatever, you're going to have to pay for the test, and you're going to have to be out for 2 weeks, and that's going to be on your dime. Yeah, that's not going to be good, be doing that every week, Not looking good, folks. Not looking good. We got to stand. We got to stand and fight back this authoritarianism, telling you, because it's not looking good. And for those of you who are Jabo, don't think it's not going to come your way either. You need to stand up with those who are unjabbled and say, hey, you can't do that. I might disagree with what they say, but I'm going to stand for their freedom, and for their liberties, because what's going to happen when you don't? And let me put this in a better context here. If you watch my last videos, what they considered unjabbled people or people that don't have the second shot. Okay, so for those of you who only had the first jabo, you're considered unvaxxed, right? Going forward, what happens with the third shot, fourth shot, the booster shots? When they say, hey, if you don't get those, then, you don't work, job or jab. What we do know is the fact is that people that get the jabo have had all these adverse reactions. Yeah, of course, it's not studied. You know what I mean? It hasn't been a long-term study on this. So as time progresses and you start seeing people that get this, that start having these more adverse reactions, third shot, fourth shot, booster, whatever, and you start thinking like, whoa, I don't want to take that. Or like a lot of people that I know said, well, I'm not going to take that until about 6-8 months down the line until I see if other people, if it affects them. Well, there's not going to be any more of that. because he'll just come out and throw his little edict out like a little king and say, you don't take it, you don't work. That's it. And it's crazy because, like, I know constitutionally it's going to be fought in the courts. And he said a long time ago, I wish I could pull up a clip about that. But he said a long time ago that if it goes to court, so what? If it gets tied in court 3-6 months down the line and it comes out that I'm wrong, well, at least for those 3 or 6 months, people went to go get the... Man, hold on a second. I think I got a tick on me. Oh, no, it's not a tick. I thought it was. Anyways, yeah, it's happening. It's happening. What you going to do about it? For those of you at the Jabo, what you going to do about it? You better stand up. You better fight back. That's all I got to say. And I'm not talking about being stupid, fight back. I'm talking about, like, civil disobedience. I'm talking about protesting. I'm talking about standing with your fellow unjabble person and fight back. Or are you just going to go, yes, well, master, I'm going to take the Jabo. And I'm going to take the second, the third, the fourth, and everything else you tell me. Okay, well, whatever, It's totally your right to do whatever you want to do, okay? It's totally your right. This is all one man's opinion, okay? And I just say, I agree with those who ever want to do it. And I just disagree when people start saying, well, you got to take it, and you got to take it, and you got to take it. And, and then they start, going against you and making you belittle you and making you look bad and ugly and calling you a Karen or whatever else. I explained this in all my other videos. Just look at them. So, yeah, there's probably more I can talk about with the whole Joe Biden speech, but that's pretty much the gist of it. You got to watch it yourself. There's other parts in there that I did a little research on, talking about how they're going to enforce it, where, for each incident in the private sector, whoever messes up or whoever doesn't do it, it's a violation. They're going to get thousands of dollars fines on them. And businesses are not going to want that. They're going to just tell their employees, hey, do it. Or some businesses fight back and say, I'm not going to do it. Or if people are just going to quit and go somewhere else. I don't know. But something clearly has to happen, or is everybody just going to take the knee? I don't know. We're gonna find out right away, because this thing's rolling around quick. I'm gonna put somewhere here. I don't know where, but just like when the FDA approved the Jabo, New York City came out and said all schools, everybody's gonna take the mandate. Boom, boom. Everybody. I mean, the next day, the biggest city in the United States, well, now the third biggest city in the United States, as soon as Joe Biden did that speech, came out and said in LA, everybody in the LA County area, all the kids in schools and everything like that, gonna have to get the 12 on up. Everybody that works for the schools, everything, gonna have to take it. And the trickle effect's gonna happen, the trickle effect. And I told you stuff that's going on over there in Australia, right? If you looked it up, you know what I'm talking about. And if you watch my videos, you know what I'm talking about. All that's coming this way. History is going to repeat itself here. It gets stupid out there in the other countries, and then it comes this way. Liberal cities first, of course, and then it spreads. So enough of that. I just want to tell you now my story of a good friend of mine that this happened to him a couple weeks back. It was pretty much the last video I uploaded. I heard about it, around that time. And I told him, hey, do you mind if I, tell your little story, of course? And he said, yeah, just don't, put my information out there like that, like who he is and stuff, of course. But just let me give you a little bit about where he works. Where he works is a big old company. It's all over the place, and it's big time. It's a big time company. That's all I got to say. And he's probably making in the 70s easy. He's probably now making about 100, or maybe a little over 100. He gets all these bonuses too, and I'm not even counting that. So, he's making some good money a year. Over 100 a year, I would say. A good employee. I think he worked there for over 15 years or close to 15 years or something like that. Been promoted, several times since I've talked to him since he's been working there. And then even to this time of his departure there, he was promoted again. And he was telling me, he's all excited. I'm going to go to this other shift now and it's going to be a lot better and I'm going to get more money and blah, blah, blah. And, they did have something that says, wear this diaper on your face or be 6 feet away. Well, he's in a position that he can be 6 feet away from everybody. And that's what he would do. And if he had to wear it in times that he was there, he'll put on the diaper, when it was necessary. But he was following all the commandments that they get him. He did everything good there when he was working there. I mean, he climbed up the ranks, good employee from my understanding. Had to be. I mean, making good money. Every time I talked to him, promotion. Matter of fact, he just got one, like I said, towards the end. And now I hear that towards these latter days of his time working there, they basically put out a statement saying, hey, everybody's going to have to wear this all the time if you're not Jabbo. And yeah, you're going to have to get Jabbo now. And he's like, what? Nah. So he called his HR person there locally and said, hey, I need the exemption papers for religious, purposes or whatever. Well, they didn't have any. So they said, just write a letter, send it to us, and then we'll look over it. Okay. So he did his due diligence. He looked up words, key words to say, things to put inside this letter, and he reached out. He made it look good. He made it sound good. Okay. So when he did all that, he called the company and they said, well, hey, fresh off the hot presses, we do have an exemption letter now that you can do, like it's an actual official one, and we'll send it to you, and then you can do that too if you want. So he goes, yeah, send it. So he didn't send his official letter yet that he already had made. He got that letter, and the letter was just very intrusive. Like, where does it say in the Word of God that, you can't take a jab or you have to wear a mask? Or what church do you attend? How long has it been, how long has that church been doing that kind of stuff? How long have you been attending there? Things like that, like just very intrusive questions. And he's like, I ain't gonna be, giving them all this detail, all this ammo so they could throw all this back in my face. He's like, no, I'm just gonna give him my letter, the letter that he already had made. So he sent it to him. And remember, he got that promotion, right? So they call him in. They say, hey, can you come in and we're going to have a meeting at this time early in the morning. He's like, well, I'm in a different shift now. So I got promoted. And he's like, no, don't worry about none of that stuff. We'll take care of that. So he comes in and they talk to him, and he's there with two other managers, HR person, and basically saying like, hey, so we read your paper, and it says here that, you can't perform your duties because you can't wear a diaper over your face. And he's like, well, where did I say that at? What are you talking about? And they're being very aggressive right off the beginning, just poking at him, he said. And they read his letter, and basically he's like, well, hey, you didn't finish the part that I said, with the exception of me wearing a mask here when I need to. Because he works at a place that there's like toxic gases and things like that. And he's also like a firefighter there and all this other stuff too. Like, it's just a lot of other stuff. So he has to wear like respirators, masks, all this kind of stuff. He does that. He's been doing that. It's not a problem. It's just having a face diaper on him all the time. And the whole Jabbo thing is like why he's talking about having the exemption. They don't even talk about that. They're all harping on the whole mask thing about him and on his case about all that. Well, why? Get off his back about that. Talk about this and, other things. But no, they were talking about that. And he had to clarify what he said, and like trying to tell him, look, I didn't say exactly what you're saying. I put there with the exception of these other things. But they're trying to twist and turn his words. So, long story short, he leaves the meeting. They call him back another time for a second meeting. And this time when they talk to him, they're like, well, basically we just did away with your exemption. It's not going to work. And what you're telling us is that you can't wear a diaper or anything else, or you can't do this. If that's the case, then we're going to have to basically write you up, because you can't perform your duties. And it's like, what? What are you talking about? Like, he already went over all this stuff with you. And yet you're coming at him hard like this now that you want to write him up? Well, let me tell you, When, just like any other job out there, it's usually like 3 strikes and you're out. So now the guys never had these strikes. Now they're trying to rack them up on him so they can cut him loose, and cut him loose the ugly way, where he can't get unemployment. He can't, he loses benefits. He loses all this kind of stuff because he is the one that's getting fired, because he's not doing his job right or whatever. And he's like, nah, he wasn't going to stand up for that or put up with that. And at that point, he just said, like, basically, look, I don't have nothing else to tell y'all. I don't have anything else to talk to y'all about or anything. Let me have the main corporate HR number, and I'm going to talk to them, because at this point, he's already feeling like, he's being mistreated and he wasn't being understood or listened to. So yeah, he's like, give me the HR number to the main corporate place, and I'm going to talk to them. So he gets up off his seat and he walks out, or he's about to walk out, and says, I have nothing else to say to you. And they just stay quiet. And he walks out and he goes and he's going to make a phone call to the HR people. And later down that night, they call him and they just basically say, hey, you're gone. Don't come back in no more. And they wrote an official letter, not to him, but like to everybody else to read, that's going out in a blind copy on the email, basically saying stuff like, well, he was belligerent, he was being ugly, he just walked out of our meeting, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, I didn't do any of that. There's more to the story, of course, and I can't really disclose that kind of information, but let's just say when they start to lie, they're going to be caught, on that lie, because I'm pretty sure he's going to take legal action. And then there's other people just like him that work there. There's a lot of roughneck people up in there too that are just like him, and just saying, hey, we're not going to take it. So what's going to happen? I don't know. They might get in a big bundle of them, and they might go against that corporation and stuff, and see what happens. All that stuff is happening slowly, but it's happening. And yeah, I mean, this can happen to where you're at. This guy, I'm telling you, hard worker. Every time I'll call this guy, he was always working. It's like he didn't even have time for his family in some cases, but hard worker, making big money, and getting promoted. And just like that, out of here. You don't obey, out of here. No jabby, no jobby, gone. What more else can I say? What more else can I say? Now, let me just bring it all back to this, because after we finished talking and he finished pouring out his heart on, to me about all these things, I just said, you know what? Aren't you glad that over a year ago we were talking about all this kind of stuff? And I said, look, writing's on the wall. These things are going to happen. These things are coming. Store up, stock up, stack up, get out of debt, pay your house off, pay your land off. He has some pretty big, nice property too. And just one day he said, you know what, I'm going to take out some money from some places. And he took a lot of money out from some of these places, and he got penalized and hit and all this other kind of crap. Hold on a second. Got a tick on me. But he did what he had to do, and he paid off his house, his property, and everything else. And he took a big hit, but it's all his now, and he doesn't have to worry about this crap. I'm sure he has money stored up, stocked up somewhere, and he can just do some other job out there, but he doesn't have to worry about it, losing his house or his property, because he took wisdom from the Lord and advice and knowledge, and he said, you know what, I need to do the right thing, and I need to buy this house, buy this property, because when this stuff comes and hits the fan, he don't want to be like other people out there that they don't own what where they're living or their property or anything like that. So I just thank God that we had all those conversations, and you did what you did, and you have provision now. I bring this to your attention, and you can take what you want to take out of it. Eat the meat and spit out the bones, and apply whatever you need to apply to your life, what's going on, because it's happening now. It's already happened. He ever since Biden did this speech, Now it's time for the jobs to say, are we going to fight it back? Or are we just going to say, hey, employee, yeah, you need to go get the jabo or you don't work. What are you going to do? That's a decision you have to pray about. And for those of you with, has a husband or wife, you're going to have to ask those kind of questions, and you're going to have that difficult conversation. And for those of you who are single, you're going to have to really evaluate your life and see what's important to you, because, for those who don't want to take the jabo, this is a problem. And for those of you who don't really care or are on the fence, well, it's not a problem for you, But I tell you right now, it would be good and wise for you to help stand up for those who don't want to take a jabo, because pretty soon your liberties are going to be trampled on when you don't obey or do what they tell you to do. And it's happening. And if you study history, Roman history, the whole Nazi era, Stalin, Mao, you see how these things take place. And I don't know, I don't mean to go to the extreme, but it starts off somewhere, folks. It starts off somewhere, It's either they take the farm and the food, they take the guns, they take, liberties, they bring, they take people's land, and it starts somewhere, okay? And it's just happening now with medical tyranny. So, yeah. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say. I know this video went real long, and I'm sorry about that, but I just had to talk about it. And I didn't really have time to prep. I hardly ever prep up anyways. I'm just talking to you like if I'm talking to you face to face, and I talk real, and there might be some words I mess up on or whatever, but just deal with it. So I just, I hope you appreciate my videos. I hope you like and subscribe and share and spread this message out to everybody, because it's something that's going on now, and people need to hear it. So I thank you for watching my video and being out here with me in the Ozarks with the Lord. And I'll see you next time. Bye.